Hi, good afternoon. I've had the privilege of running Yamaha's custom bike show for the last 6 years. We put on an amazing display at venues like the MotoGP in Indianapolis and Laguna Seca. We draw some of the best, most beautiful customized Yamaha sport bikes from across the country. We have pro builders who bring their jaw-dropping displays of bikes, and we also have amateur builders. This year we added some really exciting things to the show. We actually renamed it. It was the Yamaha Custom Showdown this year. We added Atlantic Beach Bike Fest as one of our venues. And we also added an Amateur Builder of the Year competition. This was really exciting. We wanted to place a special spotlight on kind of those guys and ladies who are wrenching on their bikes in their garages, you know, after work and on the weekends, trying to make them beautiful pieces of art. We wanted to kind of take that program a little bit further so consumers could actually go online, they could look at all the different amateur-built Yamaha sport bikes, and they could vote on their favorite bike. This was a tremendous success. The site got over 1 million page views, and with an overwhelming over 50% of the vote, Ramsey Ackad with his beautiful 2009 YZF R6 won, and here's his gorgeous bike.
And Ramsey didn't talk much about it. Just so you guys know, this is no garage beauty queen. Ramsey likes to ride this pretty much every week. He does track days on it. This truly is a bike that incorporates our racing heritage as well as our, you know, straight to the consumer, ready to ride. Okay, now I'm going to have you guys walk. I guess I want to get everybody in shape. But
Not too far, just over here.
We got another exciting thing to show you. In 2009, we launched an all-new R1 cross-plane crankshaft. Just had a lot of new ideas and innovation behind it. And for 2012, a lot of you guys know, we didn't relaunch it, but we added traction control along with a new look for it. And it's been a really big success. The traction control has really helped all riders from pros to amateurs to the weekend warrior type. So we wanted to highlight the R1 by showing just everything that goes into making a sport bike as good as the R1 is. So we think for consumers this will be really neat for them to see just all the little moving pieces that go to make up a championship-winning leader bike.
There's a question back here. How many hacksaw blades did it take?
I believe lasers were used. But no, we actually did this in-house at YNUS. The service department tackled this project. I don't know how many man-hours went into it, but it is walk back to the last bike that's covered.
Thanks very much, Tim. And before we do this, once again, Tim Olson, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, if there's any questions you have, if there's any images that you need and want to access our media site, please see Tim Olson. Okay, the bike we're going to show here, it took an American from Texas to his first MotoGP win in Assen this year. And it helped us celebrate a very important anniversary for Yamaha Motor Company, which is the 50th anniversary that our company has been competing in World Grand Prix. And I think without further ado, this is the YZ RM1 as ridden by Ben Spies from Texas. And afterwards, I want you to come up and take a close look. This is a beautiful piece of engineering here. So with that, we do have some special guests. I want to introduce, first of all, fresh from a bicycle ride and a second consecutive American Superbike championship. Please welcome Josh Hayes, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a big round of applause. Also, another special guest we have, we're going to talk to these gentlemen also. This is going to be an interactive session here. The Rookie of the Year this year in MotoGP, I got that correct, Cal? Please welcome from England, the Isle of Man he hails from. Please welcome Cal Crutchlow, ladies and gentlemen. Cal, come on up. And then finally, fresh from his new Stackhouse restaurant that was just opened in Texas, home hero, please welcome Ben Spies. Ben, come on up. Josh had to, he had to finish third or better if his competitor won the race. On the last lap of the last race, Josh was in fourth. So he had to dig, and dig he did, and he won. He finished second in the race and won the second consecutive championship. So once again, Josh Hayes. Josh, tell us a little bit about the year, and let's just talk about that last race.
Probably harder on my wife than it was on me.
watching from the sidelines. But you know, all in all, we showed up with a good weapon with our Yamaha, and it was a pretty good weekend. I was pretty confident after having won on Saturday, and Sunday's race played out a little bit differently, but as nervous as my team and my wife were, I felt pretty confident. I had a couple of good ideas, and we were able to pull it off.
They treated me well, and thanks to you guys also. Josh Hayes, ladies and gentlemen. I'll move around here. Cal Crutchlow, MotoGP Rookie of the Year. Kind of an up and down season, ended off last race pretty darn good for you. It's a tight battle with the other gentleman who was going for Rookie of the Year honors. Can you comment about the season, just overall season, how do you feel about MotoGP Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, it's nice to be here. Nice to be here in California. And no, the season went quite well. I was pleased overall. We were mostly the Tech 3 Yamaha team, and yeah, the season was up and down. Some injuries, but some highs, and especially ending the year on a high with Rookie of the Year in fourth place in Valencia. So the test on the new 1000cc Yamaha went well, and we've been going to next year quite confident, and you know, a little less pressure, I think. So I look forward to that.
Thanks very much, Cal Crutchlow, ladies and gentlemen. Moving up to the new restaurateur, Ben Spies. Ben, I think you had an up and down year, but the acid race was something special for all of us, and I'm sure for you it was your first MotoGP victory. Can you comment on that just a little bit?
Yeah, you know, the year off, like you said, was probably the most consistent year I've ever had. I wasn't really happy with it, but we did, you know, we got everybody in, so we were able to win a MotoGP race, which is my dream. And, so you got to be more consistent next year, try to do it more. But, you know, the way it happened at Aston was especially, you know, historical, the oldest track on the calendar. And then, you know, the first weekend we had the 50th anniversary colors. All the, you know, the old Yamaha stars were there. I guess all the stars were aligned for it to happen. So we got working out, and I was just glad I didn't do that. You know, I don't know how we were able to do it, but it was a good day. We were thinking about it next year. We wanted to see 50,000 next year. Looking, you know, for the should have shake the race and that kind of that. Hopefully we can, you know, be on top of it.
Thanks very much. I know I speak for certainly all of us at Yamaha and all the American fans who were very, very proud of you on that race. So we've got a couple of minutes. I'm going to open it to questions to any one of these three gentlemen. If you have a question, raise your hand. I'm going to run the microphone out to you.
Actually, you know, honestly, the way the last month went for me, with like 6 crashes and 6 straight sessions, and it was pretty crap. So I mean, the way the race went, and when we were in 4th place going to 2nd place, that was the goal. And then all of a sudden, 4 laps of good paces in front of me. I didn't even see him the whole race until then, so I wasn't even, you know, thinking about winning the race. But I started raining heavy, and it was just a, you know, chaotic race on the road. So it was a horrible race for us, but you know. The race to finish 2nd, you know, I didn't lose sleep that night. I was actually happy because, like I said, the leading, you know, the last 4 weeks leading up to that was one of the worst, you know, 4 weeks leading. You know, I've never had on a motorcycle, so I was actually happy to be 2nd place, but you know, I wish we could have won.
Any other questions for either Josh, Cal, or Ben? Any questions?
Question for Josh. So, for a person that doesn't put us in traction control, how did you feel about the system on the airplane?
I like that. For a guy who doesn't profess to be traction control, you rode my bike. You know. You know, I showed up pretty open minded. I figured I had a 370-pound motorcycle with roughly 205, 210 horsepower. I was getting on a 300-pound machine at 240 horsepower. You're probably going to need some traction control. So I showed up with an open mind. The system worked really well. I'm pretty confident that we're going to implement more traction control and use it as a tool. The big thing is it's just, it's not as simple as you put it in and you just go faster. We got to be able to make it work well and use it as a tool to help improve the ride. And that is not as simple as just throwing it in there. So I feel confident this year we have a good motorcycle. We'll be able to spend a little more time making that happen. But no, I think the bike was a dream to ride. And the electronics were definitely not the eye-opening part of the MotoGP bike. The sheer acceleration, that was probably there.
Thank you. Any other questions? I thought I saw a hand over here. Question? Steve Owen.
This is Al for Ben. Superbike. Married with the WCCs. Are you feeling more at home now because you're just with WCC bikes? I feel like, oh yeah, that's right. Now that's what we're doing. What about that transition? That's probably the millionth time I've been asked that question, but you know, it's alright. It was the same when we went from Superbike to MotoGP. You know, the second question was, you know, do they feel the same or how different are they? But yeah, I think it should be more because it's difficult to ride them 800s, you know. Coming from a production-based ride, I haven't really been the only guy that's came in and done so well at it, you know, in such a short space of time. The guys that have been at the front for, you know, all year have been the guys that have, you know, been riding them for 5 years since the 800s have been in. So jumping back to 1000cc in my usual style, yeah, it suits me straight away. As soon as we saw the jump time at the test, it was a lot easier to ride. I know there's more power and the bike is, you know, more difficult in that way, but it's just such a style. Be offline an inch instead of have to be so precise all the time, because before you couldn't get the time back on the other guys. Now it seems that, you know, it's a little bit closer already.
Yeah, for me also I think it will suit, you know, the way I ride a little bit more. It's not as close to a Superbike as, you know, everybody thinks that we have out and it's going to be, you know, just like power. Still totally different. It's going to be a lot more similar to the 800 as the front, you know, but like Kyle said, the whole precision part is a little bit different. You know, you can make a small mistake, you can get it a little bit, you know, deeper and stop the bike and kind of square off the corner. I'm a bit messy when it comes to braking and picking up the throttle anyway. I'm a little erratic, you know, so hopefully it helps me a little bit more. I think we won't have so many disadvantages for the Superbike riders for that style. So, and hopefully it's a better race. You know, make passes happen, stop the bike and still have it on the corner. So, it's a great company race. Better for saving more passing.
Any other questions? Last call. Okay, once again, on behalf of all of us at Yamaha and Starr Motorcycles, let's have a big round of applause for two-time American Superbike champion Josh Hayes, MotoGP Rookie of the Year, Crutchlow, and one and only Ben Spies, Aston Martin MotoGP career winner. Big round of applause. These gentlemen will be signing for consumers once the show opens at about from 5:30 to 6:30 here in the Yamaha booth. Once again, on behalf of all of us at Yamaha and Starr Motorcycles,